Hey everyone, welcome to the part 3 of the free funnel design course. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a thank you page along with how to create an appointment page, right? Which is basically an upsell of the current thank you page that we have built in the last part. So if you have gone through all our parts, you will be able to understand that in the first part, we created this beautiful lead generation landing page, right? And not just that, we also made it 100% mobile optimized, right? So this is what we generally did last time, right? And it was 100% working. We then created a pop-up, right, in the second part, and with the form, and then we also created this top section, right? So now I'm going to make sure that it looks beautiful with the background, and I also showed you how to create this section and why I'm creating this section like this. We'll be also deep diving into how to create a calendar for yourself so that you can book appointments, and then how to take these appointments and appointment leads and can create automations on that so that you can create and have a pipeline for yourself where you can manage and track these leads and see where they're going from, right? I hope that this video is going to be super interesting for you because we're going to learn a lot about design, about marketing, also about automation strategies so that you can implement for your business and grow it, right? So without further ado, let's get started into it. So till the last time, right, we saw that we only created this much. Now we're going to proceed forward and create the entire thing for you. So let me minimize myself and let's proceed forward. The only difference that I see here is that it's a kind of a blank, right? So when I created it last time, this was only a thank you page. But however, I would like to have a kind of texture at the background in order to make it feel nice the way the landing page or the lead generation landing page was looking, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create and add an exciting, beautiful graphic. That graphic is going to help me make it look much more better and cleaner. So here, if you can see, I have added a beautiful graphic. I believe I'll just make it heavy fade to make it lighter. I think this looks much better. Let's get back to what it was. I think this is nice. So probably what we can do here is we will just make it instead of heavy matte, let's make it a light fade, and that just looks pretty. So instead of making it full center parallax, as you can see here on the right hand side, I'll be creating it into a full center. I think that should be good because that's going to stick when we scroll on top of it with our mouse, right? The second thing is going to be an upsell. So every time that somebody comes into it, they know that hey, they are going to receive a free ebook guide into their email inbox, and that's the reason why they should always provide their right email or a workable email, right? If they have not provided a workable email, then of course the email or email automation will work, but it won't reach the right email, right? So they will not be able to receive the guide for which they actually opted in for. Eventually they will go back, right, and then give the right email so they can receive it. Okay, so that's where you can confirm that they are receiving the right emails, even though you might have some junk emails which are needs to be removed, and even if they are in the system, that's okay because you will never have the benefit of other people using it for their own because it was actually not usable anyways, right? So now we just don't want people to stay here and then leave the space. We want them to see that what exactly other things that we have to offer, which is going to be appointment booking upsell, right? Even though we're not actually selling and them anything, it's going to be a free consultation, but we want to proceed forward and make sure that they know about it so that they can have the options to, hey, if I am a business and I want a tailor-made solution, then let's me proceed forward and book a call with these guys because they know what they're doing and they can do it the best way possible, right? So that's what we're going to do. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a different section altogether. This section is going to be dedicated to our upsell, which is going to be the appointment booking. Okay, first things first, let's have a beautiful background in there. Let's make it full center, right? And then I would like to go to advanced and then create a full border, or basically just the top border is also fine. Probably that will be 1 pixel with a similar kind of tone, and then we will have a border radius of, let's say, 20, right? And that is going to be only on the top edge, because sorry, only on the top edge, because we want the bottom to be, fixed without any kind of curvature, but we want the top section to be at least like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to have a headline, right? And then a sub headline, right? And then what we want is we want a two column row so that we can highlight all the important reasons as to why we are the right fit for them, and then proceed forward to add a calendar on the other column. Okay, so let's go back and see what we did in this case. Okay. So first things first, we have given a very nice heading, right? The reason why somebody wants to, right? Because if they're already using marketing strategies, they need to understand that you need to understand as a marketer that why they're going to use your marketing strategies, or why they're going to come to you as a marketing team or an agency. The reason for this is because you're providing something unique, something specialized, which others are not providing in general, right? So what we are going to do here is we're going to tell that, hey, we specialize marketing services which are tailor made to your specific business, right? So that is going to be a personalization factor that we are going to add in. And hey, and in subheading is going to be, hey, we are going to support the main headline. So as we told you that, hey, are you tired of the generic marketing that everybody is doing for you, right? In that case, stop that generic marketing and come to us, because we specialize in custom strategic marketing services that is tailor made to your business. So the sub headline should always and always support the main headline, right? You can't just write anything. I have had gone through a couple of funnels and website where they had the main heading and the subheading as well, but they were not really interrelated, right? And the first thing was just about something, and the second line, which was the subheading, was just a totally different other feature. That's what we are selling, right? The main objective of a subheadline is to support the main headline or the claim that what we are saying to them, right? So by asking a question like this, we are asking them and we are actually convincing them to, hey, think on this. Are you wanting to have a specialized service from somebody like us who has already proven to have good results for our clients? And probably that's the reason why you got excited and booked that, or basically opted in for that ebook, right? So that's specifically the reason. So in order for that, we are here to give you the solution, because we are very specific in nature. So basically my sub headline is supporting the main headline. That's the crux of it. Okay, then we have written here, why exactly do you want to choose us, right? And then we have given the main points as to why we are different from others, right? Why we have all the right points, all the right checks, in order for you to come to us as a business, as a marketing agency, and not to somewhere else, right? For example, it can be proven track record, it can be tailored strategies, it can be cutting edge techniques, it can be dedicated expert team, it can be the proven results that we have already have for the other clients, or it can be this kind of trust badge, something that I always like to put, right? And then here we can have that calendar, and we can write, hey, you can book your free consultation here, that's going to be interesting for you, right? Again, at the end of the day, it's free, and there's nothing like it. So basically means that you do not have to have anything at stake. You're not paying anyone. There is no upfront payment. There is no commitment to it, right? So people are generally going to take forward to it. So now what we're going to do here is let's add these things on our current site, right? So if you're not sure from where I'm getting these gradient lines, is because of the CSS that I added on our last video, right? If you do not know how to add CSS gradients, make sure that you watch my CSS playlist. You will be able to understand that, hey, how can I add like what Pritam is doing? Okay. First things first, let me check what is going to be the font details. So it's going to be Poppins with 42, and the second one is going to be um is going Poppins with 18. That's amazing. Let me just grab everything. So let's make it 42, right? And here is going to be Poppins and is going to be 18. So let me get that done as well. Cool. But this is obviously bold and I don't want it to be bold. So let's make it without bold, and I'll definitely have some padding on top of it to separate it from the header section. Okay, I think this looks pretty amazing and beautiful. Okay, what else do we need in this section? I think this is pretty much nice. Let me just check the typography if we have pop-ins. Yes, we have pop-ins in there. So now the question is going to be, why do you want to choose us, right? Why we are the option for you guys? So I'm just going to drag in there and say why us or why choose us, right? What exactly was there? Why choose us? And then we have all these content. So we're just going to add that, and I'm probably just going to make it on the left hand side with, let's say, 23. I don't know, 23 maybe is too low. 28 should be perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Now what I want to do here is I want to add some headline, and in that subheadline I want to, let's say, make it 16 or 18, and then add an icon that's going to be the check mark, because I want to show people that, hey, what we are capable of and the reason why you should be hiring us, which is, the first thing is proven track record, tailored strategies, cutting edge technologies, techniques, and all of that, right? So let me just add that. Let me just have some more spacing to it so that you can also see me, right? So I'm just taking myself on the right hand side. I think that's much better. So yeah, let me get there. Let's just make sure that these are not everything is bold. Of course, these details needs to be bold. So I'm just going to sorry. So I'm just going to record. I'm going to broaden the entire thing. I think this looks pretty nice. Okay, I think it's causing some problem. Okay, let me just keep it on the top. Okay, awesome. Now what I want to do here is I want to add some padding to it. Let's say I want to add like 20 pixels of padding to it. I think that's pretty nice. And then I want to make sure that I have spacing for everything. So let's go ahead and let's get the tailored strategies part. So here I'm going to add the tailored strategies, but for some reason everything is just becoming bold. I just don't want that. I don't like that. So I'll just take that later on. Then we have cutting edge techniques. Of course, that's one of the USPs. So yeah, I mean, I can also say that these are my USPs. And because of these USPs, I'm a better agency in terms of marketing for your business than others. Okay. So yeah, that can be definitely a solution. Okay, let me get the dedicated expert team as well. So in many cases, there won't be a dedicated team. So when you have a dedicated team or dedicated manager, then that is going to be amazing because you have somebody who is dedicatedly looking at your business and thinking, oh, how can I improve the business for this client, right? So that's super important. But yeah, let me get all of this in the same line. Awesome. Now what I want to do here is uh, okay, I just want to make sure that all the main headline is bolded. So the main headline is basically means that what is the crux of it, right? So for example, just see the difference of it. When you have why choose us, right, and then you have these two headlines or these two sub headlines, which basically shows the USP, and then you have these two, right? In order to understand that what these are, you have to read the entire thing, because nothing is really highlighted here that grabs the attention. So I have to do the painful process of going through the entire thing and learn it. Instead, if you see here, okay, this thing attracts my eyes, which is proven track record. Okay, and the content here is about proven track record, which basically, again, the concept that I explained to you earlier, that this line, which is the explainer, is going to support the main claim, which is a proven track record, right? I hope you will to understand that, because that's something super important to understand in terms of the user experience. So user will have a better experience when they have easy to understand typography and the highlighting structure as well. Right. So let me just get that to be bolded. Uh, Let me also make sure this is also bolded. Okay, this is also bold. Okay, awesome. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to have that kind of feature, image feature option, because I like the trust badges a lot. So yeah, I'm going to add the image feature, of course. I'm going to make sure that this is 80/20. So I'm going to turn it to 80/60, right? And then I'm going to add that image. I'm going to turn off image optimization, and then I'm going to proceed forward, and then I'll make sure I add these people with me. Great. Now I want to add still a 4.9 rating. I mean, I don't think it's a great idea to add 5 out of 5 because honestly, no matter what you do in the service based business, you cannot satisfy everybody, right? I hope that everybody in the in the agency business where they are serving clients, they will be able to relate to what I'm saying. So I'm just going to proceed forward and make sure that they are what they should be. So yeah, just want to make it 18, right? And this is 16. I think this is perfect. I just want to add a bit of spacing in there. So probably 20 would be fine. And then if there is a spacing at the left, I'm just going to reduce that. Okay, I think this looks pretty nice, right? Now we need to add a calendar, but before that, I want to add this subheadline, which is book your free consultation, right? So I just want to add that as well. So subheadline needs to be added. Book your free consultation online. Don't want it to be bold. I want it to have an icon of a calendar because I want them to understand, hey, this is a calendar on which I'm booking the call. I want to also have it a blue color. A blue texture will be fine. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. I just want to make it bigger. So I'll just instead of 21, I'm going to make it, let's say, 25. Okay, 25 is too long. 23 should be good. Yep, that's good. Now here I'm going to add a calendar. So I'm going to add this calendar. Now this calendar is already pre-made. So this is just to show you how things are going to look. Now one thing that you will be able to see here is that the moment I added a calendar, the text here got down is basically centered compared to the total length of this entire column, right? One of the principles that I've already told you in a lot of my videos is that you need to understand that a column, the content, right, is going to take the same height of the highest uh, height of the column available, which basically means that this column also got stretched out with the exact height of this column, right? You can see that both they are like both of these columns are of the same height, right? So what I want to do here is instead of these content to be here, I want it to always stick to the top. So because of that, I'm going to select that column, and then instead of, you can see there's something called as content spacing, right? So here I want to make it left, right? So what happens here is it makes it stick. So no matter, even if I add another calendar, right, there are like two calendars now, even then it's sticking to the top. So I'll just remove that. So that's how it's going to work. Let me just preview it and show it to you how this is going to look. So that's the reason how that is also one of the ways of how you can upsell. You can also add like testimonials or more reviews, case studies, right? So there are various options to add since we are creating a template for you guys. So you can choose what you want to do when you get this template, right? Basically, this is going to be available on ghltemplateshop.com. Once that site is live, you can buy templates from us, and then you don't have to go through the entire hassle of doing everything on your own, right? So that's going to be beneficial for you guys. Okay, let's see how it's going to look. See, one specialized marketing tailored services tailored specifically for your business, and then which is the headline, and then we're supporting the headline with a subheading. We are also giving them all the reasons as to why they should choose us, which is again our USP and specialization. We're also giving them a trust badge in order for them to build credibility, and then an appointment calendar for them to, hey, you can proceed forward, book an appointment, select, right, and do all of these things, right? So that is again becomes an option with this being on the top because we have made sure that the content stays on the top. Okay, but now you want to think in the Pritam, how do I create a calendar, right? And I'm just going to explain the same thing as to how can you create a calendar. So let's proceed forward and let's get it inside our sub account, and let me show it to you how to create a calendar. First things first, let's get into your sub account. You should have an interface like this, right? So go to settings here. When you go to settings, you will be able to see that under business services, there's something called as calendars. Click on calendar. So I already have one calendar, which is the reason why you see that calendar on that landing page. I'm going to create a new calendar here for you guys. Okay. Create a calendar. Now, one more thing, before we create a calendar, I just want to make sure that you know this, that let's say you want to sync your Loom video, right? Or sorry, your Loom account, not Loom account, it's Zoom account, right? Very sorry about that because I'm using Loom, so that's how I said that. Let's say you're using or you want to integrate your Zoom account or your Google Meet account, right? In order to have these live calls, the first thing that you need to do here is you need to go to the bottom, right? And then you can see here something called as integrations. Okay, you're going to go to the integrations, and once you go to the integrations, you need to connect your Google account with yourself. Okay, as you can see, there's already one account connected, so I'm just going to disconnect that account, right? And then show it to you that how to connect your account. Okay, okay, as you can see here, there is no account connected, which basically means that, hey, uh this is what you probably will be seeing. So once you are part of a sub account, make sure that you sign in and then connect it. Okay, let me just click on this and sign in. Awesome. So what you can see here is I've already signed in to with my with my Google account. The reason why I did this is because without that you cannot proceed forward, right? So you need to sign in with a Google account, and that Google account connects with your Gmail, and it also connects with the Google My Business. So in case you have a Google My Business and you want to connect it, then you should be adding the same email. But for this, I just created it. I gave all the permissions to the lead connector to make all the changes, so that it can fetch out data and everything, and it's done, right? So that's how we got it done. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my profile, right? And then I'm going to make sure that my calendar is synced with them. Okay, so here, as you can see here under my profile, is something called as primary calendar. There's nothing selected here, right? So I'm going to click on edit, and then I'm going to select my account here. You can see here, right? So yeah, primary calendar, I think that's good. So I'm just going to sync it there. It's also good, but yeah, I just want to sync my entire email with this. I'm just going to save. Awesome. So now my primary calendar is with my email ID, right? So it is already synced, and also checking for cloud frames with this is already there, which I think is perfectly fine. Now, the next thing that I need to do here is, I believe we're all set, right? You can also do the same in my staff, right? You can go to my staff, and then when you go to my staff, you can edit it, and then also make sure that you have all the changes done. Okay, but for that reason, I'm just going to not go there. Instead, I am now going to go to my calendar section, and I'm going to add, create a new calendar for you guys. Okay, so first things first, let's click on create a calendar. There are multiple types of calendar that you can see: service calendar, simple calendar, round robin, class booking, collective booking. So I want to click on round robin. I'm going to click on select. And let's say this is going to be called as social media marketing consult call. Okay. Probably I'm going to select a team member. You can have multiple team members if you want, right? Or you can just have somebody, let's say, of one person. So I'm just going to add myself. You can add multiple team members if you have. I'm going to have social media marketing consult call. Okay. I hope that's not taken. No, that's not taken because this needs to be a unique URL. And then meeting duration is there, which is 30 minutes, which is fine, right? 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. is also fine. I'm going to go ahead in the advanced setting and make sure everything is properly selected, right? Now let's go to, yeah, this is fine. Let's go to availability. Availability is 8 a.m. to 5 a.m. It's fine. Meeting interval is 30 minutes, which basically means the interval has to be 30 minutes, right? As you can see here. Meeting duration, that what is the duration of the entire meeting, which is 30 minutes. So here the meeting is going to be booked for 30 minutes, and then there's going to be an interval of 30 minutes, right? So 30 minutes of call, 30 minutes of interval, then again you will have the time for 30 minutes of call and 30 minutes of interval. Minimum scheduling notice, that how much in advance you can schedule your call. So let's say I'm just going to add 1 day in advance. Date range is going to be that for how many days you have the availability on live on your calendar. So let's say I'm just going to make it 10 days. Maximum bookings per day, let's say I'm going to make it to 5. Maximum bookings per slot per user, I think one is 5. Buffer time is, let's say I'm going to make it 15 minutes. No, just let make it 0 because I already have an interval, right? um, Between booking slot that will be shown in the calendar. So yeah, that's thing. I think don't want to make it anything any changes there. So forms and payment, I'm just going to use a default. You have to use something or the other. You can use a custom form which you already have, but I'm going to use a default one. I don't need much. Right. So what else? Allow guests because let's say they are guests. So that's let's get them allowed. Auto confirm new calendar meeting is super important because that's going to make the status of that calendar or that appointment as confirmed, right? So whenever somebody books an appointment, right? Let's go to notifications. Who should receive notifications? Well, contact yes, guest yes, assigned user yes. Allow Google Calendar to send invitations, of course. And what else? I think this is fine. Let's go to customization. I don't think there's much that I want to add. I think new is the new one, so I'm just going to keep it that way. Allow staff selection? No, I just want to make it random. So that's there. I think that we are all good. I'm just going to click on save. Okay. Awesome. Now there's one more thing that I want to showcase to you guys. Right. So we just created this one, which is called a social media marketing consult call, because I want to use Google Meet, so I want to integrate Google Meet with that. So when you go to preferences, you can see there's scheduling options, and also every single Google Meet link that's going to be created is going to be dynamic in nature, which basically means that the link is going to be unique every single time a meeting is generated. It's not going to be the same link. Once the link expires, it expires, and every single person who books a call is going to get a new link altogether. So this is going to be the Google Meet link, right? Availability is going to be decided here. Time zone, let's say I want to add my Indian time zone, so that is there. I know I have some crazy time zones in there, so yeah, just save the availability in there. This is just to show you guys. So not a practical one. You can't work to allow of 24 hours a day. So that's okay. Uh, Connections, right? Here you can see that. What else do I want here? No, I do not want two-way things. You can see the main integration calendar is my email, which is of course what it should be, right? Active, right? Okay, that is good. I just want to turn this off. I think this is fine because check conflicts with digital Pritam. I think that is fine. Conferencing Zoom. You can, if you want to connect on Zoom, you can connect on Zoom here. So I believe this is also okay. That is nothing. There's no issue in there. There is an account connection which was not available, but I guess it's a new feature. I think I'll just leave it that way. So calendars in there. I think we're all sorted. Let me just go to my profile and see everything is fine in there as well. So yeah, one more thing I wanted to show it to you is user availability, right? So in this user availability, to make sure that, as you can see here, meeting location, you can make it custom, right? And you can type down what is the meeting location. It's going to be probably a physical meeting in that case. You can connect Zoom, you can connect Google Meet, full address, phone number. If you want to, like, let's say, get on a meeting with a phone, right? Or you want them to come to an address, but this is going to be Google Meet, so this is going to be an easy one, right? And we already have other options. Make sure that there is no save option in there. So I think that we are all good to go. Okay, so we are all good to go, guys. So now I'm going to proceed forward and add that calendar which is just created into our account. Okay, so here I'm going to just add a calendar. So this is going to be social media marketing consult call. So I just added this calendar. Okay, let me just preview it, and it should look definitely amazing. Awesome. So as you can see here, it calls social media marketing consult call, and we have that calendar with us, right? And it's showing it. Uh, just want to show you guys. Awesome. I think we have everything sorted in there. So here you have the entire list. You can book at any time. Let's say you want to book with me at I don't know, probably 7 p.m. Gonna select it, and then you're gonna book details and schedule meeting, and I think you're all good to go. Okay, cool. Now what we want to do here is you want to proceed forward, get back to your account, and then I want you to go to opportunities. The reason why I want you to go to opportunities is because I want to create an opportunity, a pipeline basically. Okay, so let's go to pipeline and let's create some pipelines in there. So I want to create a pipeline for this is going to be a calendar, uh, SMM, social media marketing consult call calendar, right? I think looks good. First is going to be meeting book, right? Second stage is going to be, let's say, uh, meeting cancelled. Third is going to be, let's say, abandoned or let's say dropped. Meeting drop, D and D. Okay, which is basically means that you do not want it, and somebody who do not wants to be in this case, we're just going to get them out of a pipeline, right? So here you will be able to see visible funnel charts visible in pie chart, right? So here you can also use these arrows to make it up, down, and all of that. But we don't want to do it. But yeah, I just want to show you how to do it. So these buttons you can make them come down, come up, right? So I'm just going to make sure that the method is right. So meeting book, meeting cancel, drop D and here it's going to show you that whether do you want it to show on the pipe chart or not. So let's say that's going to be, so if you turn this off, it's going to turn off gray, and if not, will show. Same goes for the funnel. If you want the funnel dashboard, funnel chart to be on the dashboard, then you can keep it. I'm just going to keep everything, and then I'm going to click on save. This is going to generate, as you can see here, social media marketing calendar, consulting call calendar, right? So I'm going to go opportunities, and then I'm going to select my own new pipeline. Okay, awesome. So you have that new pipeline with you guys. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead in the automations, and this automation, I'm going to create a bunch of automation to create opportunities. The first thing that I want to create is an opportunity so that every time somebody books a call, that person or that lead gets into my opportunity. So for that, what you need to do here is just need to create a workflow, right? And then you want it to, let's say, build start from scratch. So you want to start from scratch. Awesome. So this is the workflow builder. I'm going to say social media marketing consulting call opportunity creation, right? Uh, Awesome. So click on this. Now, this is basically, I think I've already learned this in the last session, right? Or the last part, that there has to be a trigger for an action to be followed, which basically means that you need to have something to trigger it, right? And then based on whatever is connected to that trigger, that will get into action. Okay. In this case, my trigger is my calendar, right? So unless and until somebody books a calendar with name, email details, and all of that, this will not get triggered. And I have to make sure that that happens. So for that to work, I'm going to say appointment, it's a customer booked appointment, right? And then I'm going to add, and this is going to be trigger name, which is fine. I just want to add SMMCC opportunity. Then I'm going to add, let's say, which calendar is this going to be? That's super important, right? But because we don't want to create opportunities for this pipeline for every single calendar that people book in, right? We don't want that. So in that case, I'm just going to click on in calendar, and then which calendar is going to be. So I have two calendars here, but social media marketing consult call is the one that we created now. So I just want to click on that, and I just want to click on save trigger. So now the trigger is created, which basically means that once anyone goes through it, right, they are going to have a part of it. Okay. So click on this one, and then probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tag, right? uh, Add a contact tag. Let's see if I have a tag or not. I have the calendar one tag, so let me add that tag, right? And then I want to proceed. I'm click on save actions, and then I'm going to proceed forward to book an opportunity. I want to create an opportunity here. So this opportunity here is asking me to action. Okay, now update opportunity is fine. Then I'm going to click on social media marketing calendar because that's the pipeline I want. And then pipeline stage is going to be meeting book. Opportunity name is going to be the first name and the last name. Opportunity source, let's leave it. Lead value, I mean, you can fix a lead value if you want. Let's say it's $3,000. Status is going to be open, right? You can allow the opportunity to move to any other previous stages or allow duplicate. In this case, I will not be allowing to do so, so I'm just going to keep save action. And after that, what I'm going to do here is I can do inform, but I won't do it at this point of time. So let's just leave it in there. Go to settings, right? And here you can allow re-entry, but here there's nothing really to re-enter because we're not really sending them anything. So it's just going to automatically create an opportunity for us, right? But it's good to have a knowledge of allow re-entry and stop on response. Okay. Also, it's going to be you can select a time zone if you want, or you can have a uh, time window, specific time for this, right? If you turn this on, then only an email or SMS is going to go to a specific time period depending on when your customer booked it. So we don't want it because there's nothing in it actually. Enrollment history is what we are going to see later on once we trigger this. So make sure that you publish this every time, right? And then click on save. Awesome. So at this point of time, everyone who should book a call with us should get this triggered, should have this triggered on, should create a tag, and then it should execute it to add it into a pipeline. Okay, let's go back now. We now want to create a new opportunity, guys, which is going to be, sorry, a new workflow. And here I'm going to add this recipe, which is going to make it easier, which is appointment confirmation and reminder. So let me click on that. It just makes the task easier, but you can also do it custom, right? So let's say the trigger again is going to be, let's say appointment status is going to be event type normal, appointment is status confirmed. Now I'm going to add that calendar in here. In calendar, that calendar is going to be social media marketing consult calls. If anything else, probably not. I already have tagged it, so I think that's it. I'm just going to tag it. Okay, looks like there's some field. Okay, I'm just going to delete it. That's not required. I'm going to save it. So what happens is whenever somebody books that trigger, books that call, this trigger is there, is it gets activated, and then the entire nurture sequence happens, right? Then you have this confirmation email that goes to the customer. Hey, your appointment has been confirmed at this and date and time, and all of this. Okay, then you have a 24 hours before appointment, right? There's an email reminder that goes through, and then again 1 hour, and then SMS, and all of this has to go through, right? So that's perfectly fine. I'm going to publish this and then save it. Awesome. Now I'm going to proceed forward, and then for, let's say somebody gets abandoned, right? Or somebody who do not want us to call them or to make them a part of the workflow or the pipeline, then we want to exclude them from the entire thing, right? So what I want to do is I want to create a workflow, and then I want to click on continue. So I'm going to write dnd sequence dnz out of pipeline, right? And then I'm probably going to make here stage pipeline change, which basically means if I manually drag and drop it, then and when pipeline stage changes, in that case, it should basically follow the following actions, right? We're going to select what actions, but we have to say that the which stage it needs to get triggered. So that has to be selected, right? In pipeline, SMMCC calendar, right? and then pipeline stage is going to be dropped D and D. I don't think there's anything else can be filtered assigned to has lead value. No, I don't think that's needed. So that's there. Save trigger. Now, if somebody don't want this to remove, so basically I'm going to add a tag here. Contact tag. Let's see if we have a tag or not. We have spam tag, or let's say I'm going to add a D&D tag as well. Awesome. Let's save action. D&D tag is going to be applied. Now we want them to exclude them or remove it from the opportunity. Pipeline is going to be SMS this calendar. I think that's fine. What else do we want? Can we have something else as well? I think this is all good to go. We can also create an opportunity, but also let's say we can add an opportunity here. Update the opportunity. In this case, in the pipeline, again, that same thing. Now this pipeline state is going to be drop D and D. Opportunity name is going to be the same, which is the first name and the last name, and you can tag this with this thing. You can contact and add everything in there. Source is not there. Status is going to be abandoned. Okay, abandoned. Click on save. Awesome. Now click go to setting, allow re-entry. Here you do not have to allow re-entry because we're not really sending them anything. So again, I think everything looks good. So we're just going to make sure that it is published, and then we are going to save it. Okay, that looks like we already got everything that we wanted in terms of the 3 workflows. So let's proceed forward and test it. It should work perfectly fine. So let's go back to our main thing. Let me just make it have a refresh of the entire thing. Right. Okay, cool. So this is getting refreshed. Just wait for the account to get also refreshed. So let's say I want to book calls, right? And I'm only available for the few days. So let's say I want to book a call on the 28th, right? I'm going to click on that. Let's say I want to book a call with myself at 6:30 p.m. Select it. I'm going to add my name as Pritam, right? PNDRA. I'm going to add a dummy number. I'm going to add an email, additional info, test for YouTube. I'm going to confirm. So I have this option of adding a guest. If you remember, we allowed them to add a guest because there is a possibility that it's a business. But in this case, I don't want it. I want to click on schedule meeting. Awesome. Your meeting has been scheduled, right? So as you can see here, it has now generated a unique dynamic Google Meet link, which is what we wanted. We can add it to our Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, iCall, whatever we wanted. So that has been generated at 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. on February 28th. Let's proceed forward and see how our triggers got executed or not, which they probably should have. Let's go to opportunities and see what is the status. Awesome. As you can see here, that Pritam Bhadra opportunity got added to it. Social media marketing consult call, a $3,000 value because we added that pre-built on the workflow as a $3,000 opportunity. We also added a tag called as calendar one, right? And let me proceed and show it to you how this is going to work out. So going into the workflow, we're going into the first thing is going to be opportunity creation. And here we will encounter how that entire thing got executed. First is going to be enrollment history, which is going to show the calendar appointment they created. So as you can see here, opportunity got created, the status is finished. So this already has been executed already, right? Now we're going to go to execution logs. It's going to show me all the steps of the execution that it followed. So Pritam Bhadra, as you can see here, it added to the workflow. A tag was added, which was executed, opportunity was created, and then we are removed from the workflow because the workflow ended, right? So yes, of course, it worked beautifully. Now what is going to happen is now the automation sequence is going to proceed forward. Let me just show it to you as well. So as you can see here, right, the second automation that we created, which was basically for the sequencing, right? The reminders, the recipe that we used. So as you can see here, the appointment confirmation was there, and we already received an email, right, regarding this, and a dynamic Google link was created in there. Okay, let me just show it to you within that. So this is going to be the receipt that we used, um, and it will show us that what it is currently doing. So this is what we used. So as soon as the trigger, right, got executed, right, this email was sent. Now it's going to wait for 24 hours. So this thing is not going to get executed. Enrollment history, it should basically show me, right, which is currently it's at a stage of 24 hours before the appointment. So it's currently waiting for that, and execution logs are also going to show that till now what has been executed. So now till now it is added to the workflow. The sent email, which is the confirmation email, has been sent. Now it's currently at a wait period. So after 24 hours, it's going to send me again an email. Right? Let's go back. So do you think anything would have changed in terms of D&D output, D&D out of the pipeline? I don't think so. The reason for this is very simple, is because we have not changed the pipeline stage. As you can see here, this is only going to be executed when a pipeline stage is triggered or changed. Okay, only then a tag will be added, created the opportunity, removed from the opportunity. Okay, so as you can see here, if I see the enrollment history, you'll not be able to find anything. But if I now change the state, let's go to the opportunities, right? As you can see here, now I need to add it to the drop D&D. So I'm going to go ahead and manually, let's say, add it. Okay, now it's added, right? But it should now the automation should be automatically executing the entire thing, adding a tag and removing it from my entire pipeline. Okay, so if I think about it, by the time I was explaining this to you, it should have already been executed. So if I refresh this, I should not see this in my pipeline, right? Let's wait for that and see that are we able to see that or not. If we do not see it, then chances are it's already been executed and it's flushed out of our pipeline. Okay, now as you can see, the opportunity that was created when shifted, automation got executed, and now we don't have anything. Let's proceed forward to the automations and see how things are. Okay, let's go to the D&D out of pipeline. So this thing already got executed because I shifted the stage. Right now, let's see the enrollment history. It should already be showing that. Okay, awesome. So it's removed the opportunity, right, because we shifted it to the D&D stage. Execution logs. Awesome. So as soon as I shifted it, it got executed, right? It was added to the workflow. A contact tag was added to it, right? And then opportunity was updated that hey, it's abandoned now. Its opportunity was removed from the pipeline, and now the workflow has ended, so it's removed from the workflow as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you create, funnels, lead generation landing pages, right? Create calendars like these, and after that you create automations to make sure that you can sync everything in sync. Right, I hope that you find value in this tutorial. If you did, make sure you share it with somebody who needs it. And if you're somebody who's looking for custom design projects, feel free to reach out to pritam.bhadra.com, and you will be able to see our work in there. I hope that you'll be liking our work. I hope that you'll be sharing this video, and I hope that you'll be stay tuning to this YouTube channel, because there's going to be a lot that's going to come in, and I'm going to show you everything that I'm learning, I'm creating for our client, so that you can learn it too, and we together can grow this community of Go High Level. Thank you so much. Stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.